Hey Zingers, it's Dan Lee, and I have a wonderful guest for you today. It is the CEO of LogicMark, a NASDAQ company in the personal safety and health tech industry, the great Shylin Simmons. It's always great to be with you, Shylin.
It's good to be with you, Dan.
Well, let's talk about LogicMark. I know that you traditionally have been a hardware company. When you joined the company, it had not produced a new product since 2015. How do you square this with your push into AI now? Talk to us about your strategy here.
Well, Dan, what a surprise, right? The type of company that's in the I fall and I can't get up space is in AI. Who would have thought? Yes, and so we have actually been very active in terms of development of health technology that we think needs to be much more modernized. After all, we're really taking care of our loved ones, and that's really almost more than 25% of Americans in the United States at 65 and over. So our strategy here is that this industry needs to be modernized. These technologies need to be modernized. And so what better way to do it than to basically make them more connected and most importantly, utilize AI in a way that's really conducive, which is in the healthcare vertical. So
Yeah, I wanted to talk to you about how LogicMark's expertise in, as we talked about, healthcare, medical safety, et cetera, fit with AI and LLMs.
yeah, absolutely. I mean, today everybody's spending all their time talking about DeepSeek and, asking them questions about how to plan their holidays and all of that. And that's really great and important. But really where AI and LLMs shine and machine learning shine is really in the health vertical. I mean, we really hear about all of the innovations around things like being able to look at, screens and sort of pictures of, breast mammograms, for example, and finding cancer 5 years ahead. And so think of that application in the healthcare side for us specifically. And so our expertise here is that the capability for us to basically look at pattern differentials. And so we're really actually remote monitoring basically a patient from far away on behalf of their caretakers, both professionally as well as personal ones. And so we apply that AI to basically look for and recognize patterns, giving us a capability to sort of start looking at changes in pattern that may actually give us a prediction or capability to sort of look at and build upon the possibility of a fall or an adverse sort of situation on personal safety front. And so all of that monitoring data allows us to basically help you help yourself. So
That really is fascinating stuff, especially what you guys are able to take with that information to really help people. And, when you look at it like this, as far as LogicMark goes, would you consider yourself an AI first company at this point?
yeah, I would say that, we are ironically in that sort of, as I mentioned, the old school, I fall and I can't get space, I fall and I can't get up space, but really we're an AI first company. We are utilizing AI to apply to doing much better around, actually reacting to falls. And so applying AI so it's actually self-learning so that we can actually understand whether or not something happens and a sort of fall detection goes off, that it's actually a fall, but not a false positive. And the false positives are actually some of the things that drive people from not wanting to wear one of these because, who wants to wear a product that suddenly screams out, Mrs. Becker, are you okay? When the reality is that, maybe Mrs. Becker just sat down too quickly, for example. And so we utilize AI and ML to basically, continuously learn and understand whether or not, utilizing the sensors that would, that's around the room or that you're wearing. And we actually own the patent around things like, multi-sensor fall detection, right? And so giving us an opportunity to basically be better at reacting and understanding what's a real versus a not real fall. But the beauty here from an AI application and being an AI first company, for example, is actually the ability to basically start making predictive analytics, the capability for us to basically look at that data and for the AI to sort of think about, is this a probability that you could fall within the next 3 to 6 months? Because that's, being able to save somebody from that first fall or even a second fall is crucial for health success and personal safety success.
It absolutely is. And to further this point, how are you leveraging AI and LogicMark's expertise to create an edge? What sets you apart?
Yeah, so I would say that, prior to us coming to this company had, a good body of patents. But how we're really set apart is that we actually have interlocking patents at this company. So since the time that we've been here, we filed and have obtained, patents. We filed over, I think, 20 plus patents at this company, many of which are AI, machine learning sort of oriented. And when we talk about the edge, here is what it is. It's that we don't just file for reactive technology and predictive technology AI patents. We file for, sensing, environmental sensing, for example, because we know that we actually need to understand whether or not how hard it is when you fall. So the vibrations of things, make a difference, for example, or that we understand that a lot of this data has to be able to basically transfer from somebody who may not be part of your care village. And so what happens when you share that data with somebody, we need to actually have it in blockchains and tokenized, for example. And so having it tokenized provides you with safety. So all of our patents, we have things like game theory, understanding like you and maybe a professional caretaker, and whether or not your interests are aligned so that you actually get better taken care of. That's an area of fraud detection even. And so all of these patents interlock to basically provide what I would say is a body of technology that allows people to actually, for the elderly, age in grace, and for the rest of us to actually move around in our world today with a sense of safety and security. And they actually have, what's really interesting is, extensions into other categories outside of health and technology as well, because, some of these things are fairly universal. For example, fraud detection and tokenization from hardware that is, I think, technology and licenses that could be utilized and licensed to other people in other industries as well. So,
Sure. I think you explained that beautifully. And obviously, maintaining that edge is important. As we discussed, how are you maintaining this edge, and how are you working to defend your position at LogicMark?
yeah, absolutely. Well, so we consider ourselves a startup with the ticker symbol. We've said that sort of time and again. And so part of that and part of the reason why people are shareholders and investors in this company is that you're actually investing in a tech company. And so we continue to maintain this edge by actually developing, amazing patents and continue to grow that patent technology. But most important, roll out that technology so that people can actually utilize it. Again, the best defense is basically putting up the sort of interlocking walls to block out for competitors, right? So it's very difficult for them to actually have better fall detection than we do, because we actually have the lock on the patents to ensure that we actually have, multi sensors in order to ensure that your, elderly loved one are safe. And so how we do that is to basically continue to grow our patents, continue to sort of make that patents and utilize those patents in our technology to basically make that available for everyone. And most importantly, defend our patents to ensure that nobody's encroaching on our, I think, special sauce. So.
Can't have that happen. Shylin Simmons, the CEO of LogicMark, always a pleasure talking with you. That was an absolutely fascinating conversation. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you so much for inviting me, Dan. Always a pleasure.